Oraibi of Asharq Alawsat.
People on the street are saying between what governments, many governments are thinking. I mean, people's emotions are raging high. What we're seeing is not just an attack on Hamas, rightly or wrongly. This is an attack on the people of Gaza. 1.5 million civilians are being targeted. And even if you wipe out Hamas, you're going to have jihad, you're going to have other militants. This isn't the first time that Hamas leaders have been attacked. I mean, Al-Rantisi was killed, Sheikh Ahmed Yassin was killed in the past, and we thought, that's it, Hamas is going to be wiped out. And they actually became stronger. So this isn't just about a political movement that you can wipe out or a group of militants that you can just eradicate. This is a problem that cannot be solved militarily. On the contrary, Israel is losing out. You know, 2-3 months ago, people were talking about the possibility of the Arab peace process. In the streets, there was this sense of we can start to keep. But at the end of the day, you have to win the peace with people, and that's not going to happen. Gaza was under a blockade, and people were starved both ways. It wasn't, you know, Israel was trying to calm everything down, and Hamas were attacking. Both sides have been attacking, and we have to stop and say that while Hamas, there is an issue and there is a problem with Hamas, at the end of the day, the onslaught that's happening, the murder that's happening, foreign journalists are not allowed into Gaza for the last 2 months, although the Israeli Supreme Court itself said that this was illegal. I mean, the Israeli government now is breaking its own
laws. I just want to bring in the
bravery, and they are terrorists, but, you know...
It's definitely an interesting year for Iraq. As of, you know, a few days ago, that's it. The MNFI presence in Iraq is over. We're seeing a new era in Iraq. There is the same level of security or lack of security, let's say, towards the end of 2003 that we're seeing now. So 5 years, a whole lot has happened. Now we're coming to the cycle of what happened towards the end of 2003, where people were looking forward to elections. There's always hope when there's elections. So far, we've always had successful elections, and we hope that the next 2 rounds of elections, the provincial towards the end of the month and towards the end of the year, the general elections, will be peaceful and will bring about change, which everyone's looking forward to. So I think it could be a very good year for Iraq. It's definitely going to be a year of some changes in Iraq, and it's showing political maturity, which is vital for Iraq. That's what Iraq needs.
Is the security something that's coming from...
So we don't want to be too optimistic.
It's very encouraging.
Hope rather than optimism, perhaps.
Yes, and the Iraq, he's virtually sent a clear signal.
It doesn't necessarily have to be, because rock bottom could
and that's
still
why
be on its way.
Confidence can't recover. That requires a different kind of
regulation and so forth. Is the IMF really going to change? Is 2009 going to prove a year of actual international?
I've got a problem with global regulation. Be careful about this. It's
today it's G20, it's global.
Right, okay. So who votes?
Possibly at their own detriment. I mean, there will be
or not.
Some. I think we'll find more consensus.
Just to return to President-elect Obama, has he sufficiently...
September 2008, we thought that's it. Brown is breaking down, Labour Party is in meltdown, and then, you know, they picked up and there was an economic crisis and, you know, things changed. So it's very difficult to see what next year is happening. Again, the economy is going to be crucial. The government is putting a lot of importance on the April meeting for the G20, and they're very excited about getting everyone together, and I think he's seeing himself in a global statesman role. So I doubt we'll have any real discussion of what's going to happen with the elections until at least the summer, and that way just continuing to build momentum for what eventually will have to happen, an election. Definitely the mistake of speaking about an election and not having it and letting the speculation happen will not be repeated. They've learned the lesson from that one.
Or not.
Maybe by the end of the year. I don't know. I think by the end of the year.
A safe prediction.
When he got this blip in the polls, because he went to tell you, I won't say that I necessarily embrace it, that is a widely held
view for one reason.
Even if people are not paying too much attention at the moment to it, I think it's going to be huge.
More commitment from the Americans and perhaps the British and others. And maybe America's allies, what are you doing for us in Afghanistan?
I think they've already started saying, what are you doing for us? So I think of 2009, and hopefully 2009 will be a better year for Iraq. But that's hope rather than prediction.
Janet?